Hello physios, I welcome you all to our channel Physio Vidyapit. We are back with the last lecture on motor control and we will be studying the ecological theory, which is the last theory of motor control. Okay, so my name is Vijay Kumar and let's get started. See, from this theory we will be making a new perspective according to which we will study the motor control, because in our previous lecture we used reflex theory, hierarchical theory, which was focusing on the central nervous system, but here environment is given a lot of importance. That environment is the main artist that is shaping our movement. So James Gibson in 1960 began to explore the way in which our motor system allow us to interact most efficiently with the environmental factor to perform the goal oriented behavior. So our motor system is interacting with the environment to perform goal oriented behavior. His research focused that how we detect the environmental information and how we use that environmental information to perform our movement or to do the motor control activities. So I will give you a simple example that whenever you are playing football, okay, so your movement is generated according to the environment. Why? Because the team which is playing against you will be trying to snatch the ball from you, and your movement is according to the opponent team players. Okay, so in which direction the opponent player is coming, you will definitely move slightly away from the person and you will take the ball toward the goal. So like this, the movement is controlled by the environment. That is, environmental factor are main that control our movement. The ability emerges in the early life. So this ability to take the perception from the environment and to do the movement begin in the early life. For example, by 15 weeks, infant do not automatically reach for every object. See, whenever and baby take birth, and when he is up to 15 week, so he can reach up to some objects, but not every object. See, infant do not automatically reach for every object that passes, but instead they use perception. Okay, though the infant can reach to some object and cannot reach to some object, but he or she is able to do the perception which is related to the velocity to determine in advance that whether they can catch a ball or not. Okay, so even a 15-week infant is able to do the perception or to have the perception from the environment. He is gaining the perception from environment and he determines in advance that whether he or she can catch a ball or not. Okay, so this view was expanded by the students of Gibson and became to known as the ecological approach of motor control. Okay, so this was the birth of ecological theory. It suggests that motor control evolved so that animal could cope up with the environment. Yes, whenever we will focusing on the environmental factor, definitely it will be like that. It will be to make us more familiar with the environment, so that we can do all the things. We can protect ourselves, we can take shelter, we can take food. So all these activities are regarding to it. See, it suggests that motor control evolved such that so animal could cope up with the environment around them, moving in it effectively to find food, run away from predator and build up shelter and even play. So definitely here also the movement is according to the perception. So at the site where the animal will be finding the food, definitely he will move toward that side, and definitely where there is predator, the animal will not move toward it. Okay, so here the environment is playing a lot of role in motor control. It was first time researchers began to focus that how action are geared to the environment, that how our movement is regulated by the environment. Action requires perception information that is specific to the desired goal directed action which is performed within a specific environment. Okay, so again it is very simple that action, any kind of action which we are doing, that is our movement, require perceptual information that is specific to goal, and directed action are performed within the specific environment. Gibson stressed that it was not sensation but perception that was important to animals. So in our previous lectures we studied that in reflex theory, stimulus come, it give a response, that then that response was acting as a stimulus and this sequence of reflex occur, but it has given no value in this theory. They purely stated that perception is important than sensation. Okay, specifically it is the perception of environmental factor which is important to the task. So in perception they again stated that which perception, it was the environmental perception. He stated that perception focus on determining the information that will support action which is necessary to achieve the goal. So again I will give the example in which you were playing football. Here also the movement is guarded by the environmental factor so that you can achieve the goal. So he stated that perception focus on detecting the information in environment. We are detecting that whether our opponent player is coming or not, and that will support our action which is necessary to achieve the goal. From an ecological perspective, it is important to determine that how an organism detect the information in environment. See, from ecological point of view, it is the ability of an organism that how he or she is detecting the information from the environment which is relevant to the action, and what form of information take place and how this information is used to modify or control the movement. See, I will again explain you it with an example. For example, we are playing football. So I am standing here and my opponent player is standing in front of me, and there is another member who is also opponent in the opponent team, and he is standing behind me and he is far away. So definitely my perception will be more toward this person because I have to take the ball in this direction, and my perception from this point, that is the player which is behind me, will be less. That is why it is written that from an ecological perspective, it is important to determine that how the organism detect information in environment which is relevant to action. So my action is more guided by this player or this opponent. Okay, so I am using the perception initially from both the players, but then I will think that I have to take the ball in this direction. So definitely I will try to escape or move away from this player to take the ball toward the goal. Okay, so this was about the ecological theory of motor control. Okay, so it is not very, we can say, hard and fast. In simple words, you can just say that how environment control our movement is called the ecological theory, because we were studying solely about the environmental factor which regulate our movement. Okay, so now we will study about the clinical implication and limitation of ecological theory. Now we will study about the clinical implications and the limitation of ecological theory. Okay, so first it describes the subject as an active explorer of the environment, and these exploratory efforts allow the subject to develop as multiple ways to perform the task. Okay, so as the interaction occur between the individual, that is subject, and the task, due to which the individual try to find out multiple ways in which he or she can perform the task. This helps the patient to develop multiple ways to do the same task, and after the subject find out multiple ways to do the task, the subject analyze them and finally adopt the most suitable way to perform the movement. Okay, this theory is also used as a base for increasing the difficulty level during functional re-education by giving complex or changed environment. Okay, so you may have seen this thing in your OPDs, in which when we are training balance, okay, so we use different kind of surface. First we are having a hard surface, then firm surface, then soft surface such as mattresses, where the more perception is required to walk. Okay, so like this we are changing the environment by giving different surfaces, which is increasing the difficulty of walking, which is important for functional re-education. Similarly, we can add obstacles, which is increasing more difficulty and important in functional re-education. Okay, so these 3 points are interlinked. First of all, we find out multiple ways of doing the task, then we analyze it and choose the most easy and most preferred way to do the movement, and then at last we use this in the therapeutic technique of functional re-education. In limitation, it give little emphasis on the organization and function of nervous system, because they took environment as the main hero of the story and they do not give any importance to the nervous system. Due to this, they fail to explain the spontaneous and involuntary movement. Okay, so this was whole about the ecological theory. Okay, so now we will be coming with some new topic, and I will be starting motor learning somewhat later, because I want to first of all shift from this topic to some other topic, and then we will come up with the next part, that is motor learning. Okay, but initially we will be doing some other important topics. So till then, you keep on studying. Thank you to one and all.